Hello, everybody, and welcome to or welcome back to the Vortex Racing League. I'm your host, The Real High, aka Sagar Bakshi, and it's a joy to bring you from green to checkered flag here again for yet another round with the Vortex Racing League Squadron. Taking a look at the calendar, we went ahead and skipped over to Zandvoort. Out of Spa-Francorchamps on the 14th, and Mexico City, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi will round out the championship. Taking a look at the team standing, Alpine is still in the lead with Reese, BFR, and Papa Green in front of Red Bull, Aston Martin, Haas, Kick, Sauber, McLaren, Williams, Mercedes, Ferrari, and the Racing Bulls. Over to the driver standings, it's Papa Green and Reese leading with Buki, Manila Man, Muffin Brand, McSpeed, Maverick, Detains, What It Do, Main, Ian Mac, Sappy, then Sinead, FCN for Life, Souls, Apple CN, Grunch Munch, and a few others. Running out the final 10 minutes and 30 seconds of the qualifying session. On board with Reese, who's going to be the first one to set a flyer coming through turn one of Tarzan. Chuck it in before you get to Hugen Holtzbach. Coming through the fast and flowy S's before you get down to shoe block. Blind cresting turn here at the bottom of the hill. And then we get to Master's Box. Coming around through Hans Ersbach and Kumho before you get around to the final corner. This is the newly designed Zandvoort circuit, so we'll see the high banked corners for a couple of these corners here. And Reese able to throw down a 110.465, good enough for provisional pole. Manila Man in P2, What It Do in third. Carnico in pit still. Muffin Brand takes the new provisional pole away with a 110.089. Detains now with a 111.9. Nearly was kicked out of Q3. But able to snake his way into the top 10. It's Bear already retired from the session. We'll take top 10 to be the best that he can run. Papa Green running in that 10th spot can do no harm other than 9 or better. Everybody going ahead and coming into pit lane, except for this man right here, Carnico, who's going to be on an outlap now. And Papa Green on a lap right now. Currently running much better than their first run through the first sector. Let's see if they can maintain the speed through Sector 2 now. It will be a marginal improvement for Papa Green. A 1:10.1 for Papa Green will not best the Muffin Man in P1, but will be best over Reese, his teammate Manila Man SD Buki. Mixed speed, what it do, and detains. We've all set those laps. Now, what will it be for the rest of the field as Chronico takes away the first 109? .109.973, but good enough for pole position. Can reach VRL challenge and try to snatch away pole as well. Two tenths in the wrong direction before we get down to Hans Erzbach. Coming out of the final corner, it won't be any improvement for Reese. To be honest with you, I think he should have came down pit road and abandoned that lap and tried to go for two more cracks at it. Manila Man concludes that lap, finds what P4 feels like. Leaving themselves 3/10 off the rear end of Chronico, but just about a tenth back from Papa Green, who's also running an outlap. Three minutes left to go in the qualifying session. The weather is definitely coming up to temperature here in Zandvoort. Here in the Netherlands, we have a track length of 2.6 miles or 4.2 kilometers. Track that was founded in 1948. It's been the current layout since 2020. We are located in Zandvoort, Netherlands. We have 14 corners total, 4 to the left, 10 to the right, with 92 feet or 9 meters of elevation change. Papa Green beginning this next lap. Most likely be their final lap of the session. A little bit of a lockup coming into Hugenholtz. See what the delta looks like. at the end of Sector 2. In the top right-hand side of your screen, you can see the time through the sector, the entire compound that the driver has selected. Chronico is going to try to get one more. Reese is going to try to get one more as Papa Green finds 0.2 of a second at Hans Erstbach. He goes a little bit deep and touches a little bit of that kitty litter. Is that going to compromise his run? Coming out of Kumho and through the final corner. No, it won't. It'll send him to the top of the charts, 109.859 at the end of the day with just 58 seconds left to go. Now, will Chronico get to the line in time? Or will it be to no avail? 40 seconds remaining. There's Reese as well. Reese wanting to make sure that he gets to the line without hesitation. He definitely needs to find some improvement here, as P5 is definitely no good for his cause. Chronico going for one. Reese going for one. It looks like Manila Man, Buki, and What It Do will be next up on the chopping block. Oh, and that'll be it for Reese, as he is off into the barriers at Masters. Well, that'll force some retirements from the session. Let's see if Chronico can snap back through Sector 3 and potentially get a pole position time. No, it won't be enough. The checkered flag falls for the session, and that will be it for the drivers. Get the official results populated here in just a few moments, folks. Don't go anywhere, because the Vortex Racing League is about to go round the circuit of Zandvoort in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. There's your official results for the top 10. Papa Green, Chronico, Muffin Brand, Manila Man, Reese, SD Buki, What It Do, all separated by just a second and a half. In the top 7, McSpeed, Detains, and It's Bear will round out the top 10 drivers. And the usual wait of getting the drivers set up, installed into their rigs, and gridded up takes a few moments' time. So again, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and get the driver situated for the run down towards turn 1 of Tarzanbach. Driver is all gridded up now. And we're ready for our formation lap. Let's go ahead and talk to the McLaren pit wall if we can and see what Chronocro's thinking right now as he's sitting in P2.
Take some deep breaths. Trying to get Papa Green here into turn 1 once we line up. That's my only goal for the moment, is to get him on the inside on turn 1.
Sounds good. Well, good luck with that strategy, Chronico. Anything for yourself, McSpeed?
What's that?
Trying to finish the race.
Had the engineer talking to me. What was that?
No, just asking McSpeed if he had any words for me.
Oh, I'm just gonna, try to do my best in the turn 1 and see what I can do with my race too.
You know what you could do is you could pull a Valtteri Bottas at Hungary and just go bowling for your teammate.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
saying.
Sergio did that in China last week too. So.
Yeah, you know, it's not an unheard of strategy.
One of us will get in the
Not a-
points. It's gonna happen.
Not a bad
Slightly
idea.
frowned upon. Slightly frowned upon, I've heard. Well, good
If
luck,
I get yelled at,
boys.
I'm blaming you.
Good luck. Always good to hear from the boys. And go on to their pit walls and hear what's going on in the hearts and minds of the driver. As he heard from Konko, his main and primary goal tonight was to get ahead of Papa Green, and he plans on doing that going down and towards turn 1. Now, drivers are officially getting gridded up, and we'll get ready to go rumble in just a few moments. And it's green, green, green here for the Vortex Racing League. And a good start for everybody except for that Red Bull, who loses a ton of ground on the race start. It really didn't go well for them. I think that was Manila Man. And what it do, it was Manila Man. And what it do, Detain's able to get by Buki on the race start. There goes Manila Man tumbling even further back there, this time losing a position to McSpeed. Our position goes back the other way as McSpeed goes through on Manila Man. Battle for the lead now is exchanged hands. It was Konoko who was going to go on the attack in towards turn 1. Maybe he should have gone defensive there, as now Muffin Brand is now in P2. Get also trying to challenge forward. Pit stop call from Bear. That's not going to be ideal for his strategy tonight. And Grunch Munch also going the way of the pit stop. Battle here on track is between Get and Moza Army out in front of him. Sulce in the background, 2.5 seconds back, but still in a battle pack nonetheless. Here's another move, a look. This time it's going to be the 9th place. This one's Moser Armies, and Get is going to be dragged right on through with McSpeed in tow. What happened to the Muffin Brand here at Hans Erzbank? He finds the kitty litter. I think he just went in too deep trying to chase down Papa Green, and he'll find the gravel trap there. And that will be a safety car. Oh no, and who's that into the pit wall? Was that what it do? No, I thought it was. I thought I saw a Red Bull driver go into the pit wall, but no. I didn't see him that way. And I presume we are back to green flag running here. Full course yellow clears. Chronico half a second back from Papa Green. As Reese VRL there. Whoa. And Chronico is going to get by Papa Green. So is Reese. on the run in towards Hans Ernst. Will there be any more positions lost for green? Muffin Brand on his recovery drive gets past, detains. Well, detains is trying to snap back through the final corner. It gets pretty dicey up on the high banking there. Chronico loses the position now to Reese, the teammate of Papa Green. Crunch Munch with a time penalty or multiple warnings for exceeding track limits. Bear pulls out a new fast lap of the race on a set of medium compound tires. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen, Reese with 4 positions gained. Chronico with none. Papa Green down 2 from that pole position. Muffin Brand down 1 from where he started in 3rd. Detains up 4. What it do up 1? Manila Man down 3. Get up 3. Sulse up 4. Ian Mack up 2. SD Buki up 5. Down 5, excuse me. Vane up 4. Bear, McSpeed, Grunch, and Moza Army all down. And Moza, unfortunately, taking the DNF tonight. Pit stops for majority of the field not being taken just yet. We did see a few drivers with that pit stop being taken. As there, Papa Green tried to attack Chronico, but left himself vulnerable to the attacking Muffin Brand from behind. And we all know you have to protect your behinds. DRS mode activated, coming down the front straightaway into Tarzan. But Papa Green can't find enough of the draft there to help him out. He's actually still going to defend back because Muffin Brand is on the attack. Danes and what it do on track, relatively close to each other as well. The battle for the top 5 still unsettled. Here's another look at Papa Green's battle with Muffin Brand lurking in the wings. Two-tenths of a second separate them, and Papa Green will come down pit road. Get parked at the 60-meter board. And you see the Alpine crew running out there with a new, fresh set of hard compound tires. And a little bit of a delay in the pit stop before he is sent out. And will he run into traffic? Zandvoort is an extremely difficult track to pass on. So maybe he's going for the one-stop strategy tonight. And hoping to push these hards another 29 laps. A very long stint. Unless he's hoping for a safety car. Now, watch Papa Green chop through the field here. As the next one he's going to come across will be Ian Mack, and cut through that like a Swiss cheese. Oh, and a little bit of damage there between Papa Green and Manila Man as he gets through. Next up will be Sulse, and he switches back to the inside line, gets through on Sulse, and that'll be a handful of positions made on just one lap. Now it's a cool 9-second gap forward to Gitma on the medium compound tires. Gitma, who's been in this battle with Detain seemingly for the entire race so far, finally able to get around the driver on the soft compound. He's been doing really well for himself and garnished a whole bunch of positions. Still in the positive for Detains should he decide to come down to the pits. And Reese decides to come down pit road a lap after his teammate, but he's going to mount onto a set of mediums. So that means to tell me that he is going for a two-stop strategy. And he'll stay out in front of his teammate. Now, lead handed over to Chronico and Muffin Brand. And they're in a battle amongst themselves, so we'll find out which is stronger, the undercut over the overcut. As both look pretty strong in the hands of the Alpine drivers. A little bit of a slide there for Brand coming into Hansa Earths, but he keeps it on the pavement. Pit stops for the leaders, not for Chronico, but for Muffin Brand. It will be a pit stop call. He also gets it stopped at the 60 board, and see the Haas team running out to accept him. Good pit stop there for Muffin Brand in the Haas team. But the undercut seemingly was too strong, as both Papa Green and Reese are now 3.5 seconds ahead of him. We haven't seen a safety car be brought out during this race, and that somewhat surprised me, as Zandvoort is typically a track where you would see some high impact collisions happen with the wall, as the barriers are not too far away from the racing surface, and there's not really a ton of runoff road, especially at high speed corners like Skivlak and the final corner. Get comes down pit row. Gets and accepts their service from the crew. And we'll get back on track in P6. Manila Man with a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Though unfortunately that way for him. Over to Detains, who's chasing down What It Do. But it looks like we're behind a VSC potentially. We are behind a virtual safety car no longer, and we're released in drive-through penalties getting dished out for drivers who unfortunately offended, speeding behind the virtual safety car. Detains getting by What It Do there on the restart. But the race leader of Chronico got one of those drive-through penalties, unfortunately. Chronico serves that drive-through penalty without impunity and will fall back into P3 behind Reese and Muffin Brand, unfortunately. Oh no, and there is a caution in Sector 1, and I think that might bring out the safety car. I thought that was a Red Bull again. And now we're behind the safety car's drive-through being issued for speeding behind the safety car. That goes to Sauce. So, with this neutralizing the race completely, might be some saving grace to Chronico, who just served that drive-through penalty. Out from the lead of the race, can catch back up to Reese and Muffin Brand. Pit windows open for the two-stop strategy. Go on to the hard compound, but a lot of the drivers have already decided to do that. And there's the safety car way up there at the top of the hill. Over at Rob Stodemaker. Now, behind the safety car, we sit. But for how long? As the lights look out on the safety car. So potentially just get this one more. But the field completely neutralized in a couple of senses. The gaps all come down to nothing. Now let's take a look at the tires and the age. Most of the field pitting around the same lap, except Chronico pitting behind the safety car. I think he's going to try to make this one go to the end. Only about 21 laps. I've seen crazier things happen on a set of hard tires. I wouldn't be surprised if 21 laps on a set of hards was doable. And we'll stay behind the safety car for another lap. So this only helps out the drivers that did take that pit stop behind the safety car. And those that are not taking advantage of it, well, they'll be forced to take another pit stop later on in the race. Now control of the field being handed over to Reese, and he'll go around the final corner here, instantaneously dropping P2, but it's going to be a squabble in the background, and I think that Chronico and Git came together at turn one now. Papa Green closing down on Chronico out in front. Goes to the move at the inside of Masters. And turn 9, it's secured. Manila Man being the second driver to drop out, unfortunately. That leaves us with this 14 standing here at the halfway point of the race nearly. What a dude trying to find a way through detains, or should I say around him. It looked like he was trying to drive through detains, to be honest with you, but in order to do that, you typically have to go around them. And speaking of around, there goes What It Do around the outside, allowing Papa Green through the inside line. And this is going to be the run down to Hans Ernst. And Papa Green back up into the likes of P4. Domain falling back behind McSpeed. Will Domain also lose one to Sulce there? It's pretty close and nearly did. And Woza coming to the final corner, a little bit of chaosity and drama. And there is a lot of drama there at pit road. And I think that's why Gitma was unfortunately retiring from the session. I believe that'll bring out the safety car again. Again, the race coming to a neutralized condition. Let's see if we can hop over to the Haas pit wall and find out what happened to Git. Hey there, Git.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on there? Just trying to figure out what happened down pit wall.
I mean, the right, I'm going to assume it's so hard to warm up your rights on this track, especially if you're on hard. So they take like 10 years to warm up. So I guess too much power out the bank, and that sent me into the shadow realm, basically.
Ah, man, super unfortunate. You were having a good run at things until it all just went to you know what.
Basically. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Very unfortunate. Now, sitting behind the safety car is your teammate, though, a Muffin Brand.
Yes, sir.
With 10-lap old hard compounds. Now, how do you plan on making those work for you?
We've had so many safety car laps on them. We got lots of life in these tires, so we got a pit strategy. Looks like we're going to be going in about 5 to 6 laps.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much for giving me some insight on the what's doings of the drivers. Really appreciate you, brothers. Have a good one. Good luck.
Take care, hi.
And Oliver in chat saying, I'm back here in the paddock. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I can only go to the pit walls. So, Oliver, if you head back to a pit wall and tell me what pit wall you're in, I can come chat to you. Dumaine looking like the biggest gainer right now with 6 up on the evening back in P10 for the Scuderia Ferrari team. Safety car in this lap according to race control. Now Muffin Brand taking it very slowly on the run up to the final corner. And we're back to green flag running as Muffin Brand takes off, tries to shake off Papa Green, but to no avail as he's glued in, lock in tow. Coming through Tarzan, he'll be right there alongside. On the exit, the run looks good for Green, but it's just not enough. Carco defends hard and fair back from What It Do and SD Buki. Looking at Reese in the 7th spot. He was 2/10 away from It's Bear, but that gap seeming slipping out of his hands for just a moment. A little bit of a shallower line coming through turn 9. Detains here, and McSpeed gonna go wheel to wheel, but it's a big lockup for McSpeed coming down into Hans Erst, and he'll have to give those positions back, and he does do that. Detains and Ian Mack there. There goes Green again at the inside of turn 1, and a little bit of a slip up for the Haas of Muffin Brand will cause him to almost lose the position back to Green. Nose to tail, running down in towards Shivlock. And look at this train of cars, starting with What It Do, all the way back to Bear. And Chronico actually in the lead of this train, just barely staying within spitting distance is What It Do, as he's on the cusp of losing the DRS here. Coming out of the final corner, move looks good for Papa Green, but the switchback can be there from the Haas. Not this time around. Big switch up here for positions as there goes Reese into the barrier at the exit of turn number 1. He's going to have a lot of aero damage on the front left-hand side there. Lap 24 of 36 under our belts. Souls here, battling for P10 and P9. Oh, as the battle for the lead exchanges hands, this time it's Muffin Brand making the outside line work on Papa Green. And Souls doing the same thing to Reese on the same lap. This train of cars keeps on chewing along. And there goes a look for SD Buki on what it do. The inside at turn 9 turns into the outside for turn 10. It won't be a good run out of 10 down towards Hans Ernst. Green through on Bran. They're going to keep on using this DRS train coming down towards turn 1 to help each other out, escape the field behind. And there's going to be a stopped Grunch Munch, if I'm not mistaken. And if he stays stopped for too long, he will bring out the safety car. Oh, a big defense under the brakes from Papa Green. Muffin Brand able to go through with a switchback, but I'm sure he's not pleased with the way he had to attack like that. Coming down and towards corner number 1. On the halo of Muffin Brand now. Coming through the S's and now into Shylock. Oh, a little bit of a mistake at turn 9 for Papa Green. And a loose touch with Muffin Brand. Back over to this giant pack battle. Including Chronico, Buki, What It Do, and Bear. We'll even throw Detains into the mix. Big look from Bear. I think it was all bark, no bite. Coming in towards turn 1. Grunch Munch just keeps on getting hit with penalty after penalties. Accumulated them up to 15 seconds at this point. Tire difference there between Papa Green and Muffin Brand's wear. Oh no! Coming down into Hans Ertz, that's a big lock up there from Muffin Brand. And 2 lap older tires. Would it be beneficial for him to pit? Maybe go into a set of softs or ride it out to the end. I think he's going to ride it out to the end by the looks of it. What it do getting around? I'd have been trying to get around Souls, but just doing it on this lap. 30 of 36 here tonight. I thought this battle was over and done with. Clearly not, as Detains looks for the inside line on Sulse. Here out of turn 10, finds the daylight, gets the helping hand of the drag reduction system, and Hans Ertz makes that one look like a piece of cake. Over to the battling duo here, coming out of Hugenholtz. Muffin Brand and Green are separated by just about nothing on the racetrack. What it do and Bear exchange blows and positions as P5 and P6 get tossed up on its head. Here's the run from Bear coming out of turn 10. I don't think it's quite enough to make anything happen. And that might be a stopped Grunch Munch on the racetrack. And that might bring out the safety car. Battling Williams, battling Red Bull. The run down towards the first corner belongs to the Williams driver. Bear up into P5. What it do in P6? That's definitely not what you like to see. A big lock up there from What It Do into Bear. Detains, snakes by. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. When you're pushing as hard as you possibly can, mistakes are going to be made. Looks like a little bit of traffic for the leaders. Oh no, and Muffin Brand is off. And that'll let Papa Green through. And a big 1.7 second gap for him to try to surmount. The issue happened coming out of Hugenholtz, and back marker was not even in effect there. Grunch Munch retires from the session. It'll be the fourth DNF, unfortunately, leaving us with just 12 drivers remaining. Reese on his recovery drive gets by McSpeed on the run towards turn one. But will it be secured? It will be for Reese into P8, who needs these points for not only his personal championship with his teammate, but to help out with the constructors as well. It's going to be the penultimate lap. I mean, we'll get this one plus one more for Muffin Brand to try to mount an attack on Papa Green. He's got that 1.7 second gap down to a manageable 4/10. Is that going to be enough? Now Muffin Brand on the final lap. Couldn't mount an attack coming down in towards turn one. The run is looking good and strong coming out of Hugenholtz. Tire tap definitely wearing down Papa Green's front left. Muffin Brand succumbing to it as well. As off in the background goes Buki. Who made his way all the way up into P3. Couldn't even believe my eyes there for a second. There I was thinking he was a back marker, but for Papa Green, it'll be the lap that mattered most. The final lap where he took the checkered flag. Muffin Brand in P2, Buki in third. Round out your podium. Chronico with a hard-fought fourth position. Got by a few others. Unfortunate that he got that drive-through. Bear in 5th, Detains in 6th. What It Do, not too far back in 7th. Reese in 8th with a decent recovery drive coming out from him. McSpeed in 9th, Sulce in 10th, with Ian Mack and Dumaine rounding out the 12 remaining drivers. Pretty decent result for you there, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
My front left was about to explode.
I could tell. It would look like it was pretty hot. You were pushing there through Shevlock and through Tarzan pretty hard.
Yeah, I had to, man. I had to extend that gap because Muffin was too quick today.
Yeah, Muffin was on a rampage. That small mistake coming out of Hans Ernst gave you the lead of the race. Otherwise, it definitely could have been his tonight.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was a very good race. Very, very exciting as well.
Right on, my friend. Thank you very much, buddy. Anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to say thanks to for this race?
Just thanks for all the drivers and thanks to you, Hi, for streaming this race. But everyone drove very good today. And yeah, I'm impressed.
Right on, right on. Thank you very much, Papa Green. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Official results are as follows. Papa Green, Muffin Brand, SD Buki, Chronico, Bear, Detains, What It Do, Reese, McSpeed, Sulce, Ian Mac, Dumaine, Grunch Munch, Get, Manila Man, and Moza Army. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. But for now, we must conclude. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you next week on the Vortex Racing League's home network, The Real High. Have a great night, and be safe.